There comes a sacred moment in every person's journey when life pauses and whispers, "This is your turning point." That moment could be now, in this very hour. For within these words lies a vibration, a golden frequency of wisdom that, if received with faith, will change the direction of your business, your wealth, and your destiny. Business is not merely an exchange of goods, services, or ideas. It is the spiritual art of circulation. Money, opportunities, and clients are not random. They are drawn to you by the magnetic field of your consciousness. Whatever you believe about business becomes your business. Whatever you fear, you attract. Whatever you speak, you create. The invisible world governs the visible one, and your prosperity begins not in the marketplace, but in the secret workshop of your mind. Every thought is a seed. Every word is a command. Every feeling is a magnet. When you understand this, you stop chasing wealth and begin radiating it. True business mastery is not about strategy. It is about spiritual alignment. You may read all the business books in the world, but if your inner world vibrates with doubt, resentment, or scarcity, your outer results will mirror that confusion. Prosperity cannot bloom where fear has been planted. To create great wealth, you must first dissolve the belief that struggle is noble. There is no virtue in lack. Lack is simply the result of broken alignment between your thoughts and your divine supply. The universe never runs out of customers, money, or miracles. It only waits for you to open your hands and receive. You are not competing, you are creating. When your mind stops seeing business as a battlefield and begins seeing it as a dance of divine timing, doors will open where walls once stood. There is no failure in the mind of the infinite. There are only lessons, redirections, and delayed harvests. Every so-called loss in business is a message from the higher order saying, adjust your vibration. When one deal falls through, it is only to make room for the one that is yours by right of divine alignment. You cannot lose what belongs to you in spirit. What is yours. Nothing can take it, no one can block it, and no force can delay it when you are in perfect faith. Speak abundance over your business. Speak life into your work. Every morning declare, my business is blessed. My ideas prosper. My clients are perfect. Money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. When you speak these words with conviction, the invisible begins to move in your favor. Your words are your law. Your speech shapes your market. Every invoice, every meeting, every opportunity is charged with the power of your declarations. Do not make the mistake of measuring your business by what you see. The invisible always precedes the visible. When things appear slow, it is only the soil preparing the roots for a greater harvest. When clients vanish, perhaps spirit is clearing the path for new ones aligned with your next level. When funds run low, it is the universe testing whether you trust the unseen. Faith is the currency that multiplies every investment you make. Bless your competitors. Bless your customers. Bless your money. The vibration of blessing magnetizes increase. Never curse what you desire to multiply. When others criticize you, remain silent and smile, for criticism is often a sign of unseen progress. Every time you bless those who seem to stand in your way, you rise above the frequency of resistance and step into the frequency of victory. There is a secret law of business that few understand: you cannot receive what you envy. When you see another prospering, rejoice, for their success is proof that the law of increase is working. The moment you celebrate another's triumph, you activate your own. Envy blocks circulation, but gratitude opens the floodgates. Say silently, the same infinite power that blesses them blesses me. Your business must serve, not sell. Money is not the goal. It is the echo of service. Every product, every offer, every idea you share must carry a vibration of value and sincerity. When your motive is pure, your profit will follow. The marketplace is a mirror of your inner generosity. Those who give with genuine joy are never in shortage, for the universe rushes to fill any vessel that pours out love. Guard your time, for it is sacred. The hour you spend in alignment is more valuable than a month of forced labor. Sit quietly each morning and command your day. Visualize success, peace, and overflowing sales. Feel the emotion of gratitude before the results arrive. That inner work is the most valuable business meeting you will ever attend. The external world bends to the one who commands from within. Do not chase clients, attract them. Do not beg money. Command it. Do not doubt your ideas. Speak them into power. The wealth you desire already exists in the invisible, waiting for your word of faith to release it. When you align your mind with abundance, you no longer work for money. Money begins to work for you. Forgive quickly. Nothing poisons prosperity faster than resentment. When you hold anger toward a client, a partner, or a circumstance, you block the very flow that sustains your business. Release it. Say, I forgive everyone and everything. Nothing stands between me and my divine supply. In that instant, the doors of increase swing open again. Every sale is sacred. Every transaction is a spiritual exchange. When you sell with honesty, when you serve with heart, when you deliver with excellence, you invoke the law of multiplication. The energy you give returns to you multiplied. The customer you uplift today becomes the bridge to the blessing of tomorrow. The smallest act of kindness in business often becomes the seed of the greatest opportunity. You must see yourself not as a worker, but as a channel of divine abundance. You are not a salesman, not a founder, not a trader. You are an instrument of circulation. The same power that spins the galaxies flows through your hands when you send an invoice, sign a contract, or shake a hand. Business is sacred when done in faith. Fear of loss is the great thief of fortune. Fear whispers, "What if it doesn't work?" Faith replies, "It is already done." You must choose one voice to follow. Every time you choose faith, the unseen moves in your favor. Every time you choose fear, you delay your own blessing. Wealth follows certainty. Declare it and stand upon it, even when the evidence is invisible. Do not despise small beginnings. Every empire begins as a whisper of belief. Every millionaire once worked with a single idea, spoken with conviction, watered with gratitude, and guarded by persistence. The same spiritual law that built great fortunes stands ready to serve you now. This hour, this single hour, is not ordinary time. It is the hour where your consciousness shifts from striving to receiving, from fear to faith, from business as struggle to business as sacred expression. From this hour forward, know that your success is not outside you. It is within you, waiting to be claimed by thought, word, and unwavering belief. Everything in business begins in the invisible before it ever appears in the visible. The unseen world of thought, belief, and vibration is the workshop of all creation, while the material world is merely its reflection. Every company, every fortune, every success story first existed as an idea held firmly in the invisible realm. Those who understand this law no longer chase success outside of themselves. They cultivate it within. The invisible world governs the visible one, and those who master the unseen forces of consciousness become masters of every market they enter. When you realize that the external is only a shadow of the internal, you stop fighting the shadows and begin shaping the light that casts them. The invisible world is made of thoughts, emotions, energy, and faith. These are not abstract things, they are forces more powerful than any currency or system. Every deal closed, every opportunity attracted, every innovation born has been first conceived and sustained in the field of thought. The person who tends to their inner vision with faith and gratitude is the true architect of business success. You can study the same strategies as others, use the same tools, and even sell the same product, but the vibration behind your work will determine its reach and reward. It is not what you do, but the consciousness from which you do it, that creates prosperity. In the invisible realm, your beliefs are blueprints. If you believe that business is hard, that clients are scarce, that money is unstable, you are writing those patterns into your invisible design, and they will manifest accordingly. The visible world simply executes the orders given by your unseen thoughts. When you shift your inner dialogue from fear to faith, from struggle to certainty, the visible results begin to transform. It is like tuning a radio. Once your frequency changes, you begin to receive a new broadcast. You are always broadcasting something into the universe, and your results are the echo of that broadcast returning to you. The invisible world operates under precise spiritual laws, just as gravity governs the physical. One of these laws is the law of reflection. What you hold within must appear without. When you carry images of limitation and worry, your business reflects that state back to you through stagnation or loss. When you hold visions of abundance and success, Your business mirrors it through growth and opportunity. Nothing external has power over your outcomes once you understand this law. The marketplace may fluctuate. The economy may shift, but the consciousness of abundance remains unshaken. Those who stay anchored in that awareness are untouched by outer turbulence. To command the visible world of business, you must first govern your invisible thoughts. Every morning, you rise and set the tone of your enterprise not by the tasks you do, but by the state you hold. When you begin your day with fear, the invisible current of your energy sends confusion and resistance ahead of you. When you begin with faith, the invisible current clears paths, attracts allies, and aligns events in your favor. This is not superstition, it is the unseen physics of success. The energy you carry into your work becomes the silent salesman, the unseen negotiator, the invisible promoter of all you do. Business is a game played in two worlds, the outer world of action and the inner world of intention. The wise entrepreneur begins with the inner game, knowing that every email, call, or launch carries the unseen imprint of their vibration. If the energy is right, even imperfect actions prosper. If the energy is wrong, even perfect strategies fail. The invisible world responds not to effort but to essence. You attract what you are, not what you want. The mind that is filled with doubt cannot receive certainty. The heart that fears loss cannot hold abundance. The invisible world obeys the frequency you emit, not the words you speak without belief. Every vision begins as a seed in the unseen. The seed cannot see the harvest, yet it grows toward it by faith. In business, this faith is everything. You must see success before it shows itself. You must feel abundance before the bank balance confirms it. You must speak growth before the market reflects it. The invisible world hears your conviction and moves accordingly. When you say, "My business is prospering," and believe it, the unseen begins orchestrating people, opportunities, and ideas to fulfill that command. But when you say, "Nothing is working," the same law obeys, creating stagnation and confusion. The invisible world does not judge. It only delivers the reflection of your belief. Those who build in the invisible build forever. Those who build only in the visible watch their success crumble, because it lacks spiritual foundation. True power in business does not come from hustle or competition, it comes from alignment. The invisible world rewards alignment, not effort. When your thoughts, words, and emotions are in harmony with abundance, success flows with grace and ease. When they are divided, when you hope for prosperity but speak of lack, the invisible cannot deliver because the command is unclear. Clarity is power in the unseen world. The invisible world of business is also a world of energy exchange. Every transaction carries vibration. When you sell from desperation, your clients feel it, even if you say nothing. When you sell from confidence and joy, they feel that too. Energy speaks louder than words. Your invisible state of being is your truest marketing. You can craft the most persuasive copy, yet if the vibration behind it is fear-based, the results will falter. But if your inner world radiates service, certainty, and gratitude, even simple words draw abundance. The invisible world also governs timing. The impatient mind tries to force outcomes in the visible, not realizing that the invisible must first prepare the path. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to see if it is growing. You water it, bless it, and trust the process. So it is with ideas and opportunities. The invisible is always at work, arranging the right conditions for manifestation. Those who trust the unseen move calmly through every challenge, knowing that what they desire is already forming. Fear is the shadow that blocks the light of the invisible world. When fear dominates the mind, it closes the gate between the unseen and the seen. Fearful thoughts send mixed signals into the universe, and the visible responds with confusion. To restore clarity, you must realign with faith. Faith reopens the flow, reconnecting your business to the divine current of supply. When you act in faith, you do not push, you allow. You do not worry, you know. You do not doubt, you declare. The invisible world rushes to serve those who stand firm in the belief that their success is already complete. To live and work from this understanding is to walk in mastery. You cease being at the mercy of circumstances. You stop reacting to the market and begin directing it through your energy. Every thought becomes a tool. Every word becomes a brush painting your reality. Every belief becomes a foundation stone of your enterprise. The invisible world is the true boardroom, the place where strategies are written in light before they appear in form. When you align your inner vision with the infinite intelligence that governs all, the outer world cannot help but obey. Faith and spoken words are the true currency of prosperity, because every word you speak and every belief you hold sets unseen forces into motion. The visible exchange of money is only the shadow of a deeper, invisible transaction that begins with faith. Faith is not mere hope, it is spiritual certainty. The knowing that what you desire is already yours before it manifests. It is the silent conviction that turns ideas into income, vision into reality, and potential into power. Words are the carriers of that faith. They are spiritual commands that instruct the universe what form to take. When you speak with conviction, creation begins to organize itself around your words. You are not merely talking, you are decreeing. The invisible world listens, records, and obeys. In business, faith is the master key that unlocks every opportunity. The person who operates in faith sees possibilities where others see problems. They make decisions not from fear of loss, but from certainty of increase. Faith is the vibration that magnetizes success, because it is aligned with the energy of the infinite. Doubt repels, faith attracts. When you move with confidence in unseen results, you pull toward you everything necessary for their visible manifestation. It is not the product alone that sells, it is the energy of belief behind it. When faith fills your words, your meetings, your marketing, your proposals, they carry a magnetic power that cannot be resisted. Clients feel it without understanding why. Investors sense it before the numbers appear, and doors open because faith speaks in the language of spiritual authority. Every great fortune has been built on faith. Long before the first sale, before the first building was constructed, before the first deal was signed, someone said, "It shall be done," and believed it. The invisible power of that statement began creating connections, coincidences, and circumstances that made it inevitable. The same law applies to every person willing to use it consciously. When you say, "My business is thriving," and you speak it not as a wish but as a decree, you set invisible forces in motion. Faith transforms words from sound into power, and those words become seeds in the field of the universe, producing after their kind. Words are containers of energy, and every time you speak, you are either depositing wealth or debt into your spiritual account. When you speak faith, you are issuing a check on the infinite supply of the universe. When you speak doubt, you are canceling your own transaction. Many wonder why their affirmations fail. It is because they speak words of faith but think thoughts of fear. The universe responds to the dominant vibration, not to empty repetition. The power of faith-filled words comes from alignment, when what you speak, think, and feel are one. That alignment creates irresistible authority in the invisible realm, and the visible world must conform. In business, the tongue is your most valuable instrument. Words can build empires or bury them. A leader who speaks increase into their team awakens hidden potential. A founder who declares expansion instead of contraction draws opportunities that match their declaration. A salesperson who blesses every client with good intent before the conversation begins releases a vibration that turns resistance into rapport. Spoken words, infused with faith, become spiritual commands that no outer circumstance can deny. The voice that speaks from faith shifts energy fields and creates openings that logic cannot explain. Faith and words are inseparable, for one gives life to the other. Faith without words remains unexpressed, and words without faith are powerless. The combination of both creates manifestation. When you say, "Clients are coming to me now," and you feel the truth of it, you are not lying to yourself. You are speaking from the invisible where it is already accomplished. The mistake people make is to speak only what they see. But the law of creation requires you to speak what you desire to see. Faith speaks before evidence appears. Doubt speaks after it disappears. The one who waits for proof will always be waiting, while the one who speaks in faith moves creation into motion. Words of fear are as creative as words of faith. When you say, "Business is slow," "Money is tight," or "No one is buying," you are giving commands to the invisible to make those things true. The universe does not discriminate between good or bad. It only fulfills what is spoken with belief. Every careless word carries weight. Every repeated complaint becomes a decree of limitation. You cannot speak lack and expect abundance, just as you cannot plant thorns and expect roses. To change your business, change your words. Speak abundance until your language matches your destiny, not your circumstances. Faith-filled words are the builders of confidence. When you consistently declare success, your subconscious begins to accept it as reality. You start thinking, acting, and attracting from a higher frequency. This is how faith works. It reshapes your inner vibration until the outer world has no choice but to catch up. Faith changes how you carry yourself, how you negotiate, how you price, how you lead. You begin to move with the quiet authority of someone who knows that their success is certain. That authority cannot be faked. It is born of spiritual alignment. There is a sacred rhythm to faith and speech. First, you see it in the invisible, then you say it aloud. Then you act as if it is already done. That is the holy trinity of manifestation. You cannot skip a step. Seeing without saying leaves the power dormant. Saying without seeing makes it hollow. Acting without faith makes it forced. But when all three are in harmony, you enter the creative current where miracles become normal. The world calls it luck, spirit calls it law. In moments of challenge, when results appear opposite of your declarations, your faith is tested. That is when the invisible world checks your conviction. Do you still speak abundance when numbers decline? Do you still affirm growth when deals fall through? The true masters of prosperity understand that words of faith spoken during uncertainty are the most powerful of all. They are the seeds sown in darkness that bloom in light. When everything seems silent, faith keeps speaking. When everything appears delayed, faith keeps believing. Those invisible moments of persistence determine the visible harvest. Your business will rise or fall according to the words you speak about it. When you bless your work, you energize it. When you criticize it, you weaken it. Speak blessing over your employees, your products, your customers, your profits. Say, "Everything I touch prospers," until your very presence carries the vibration of increase. Your voice is the conductor of divine energy. When you speak with faith, you harmonize with the song of creation, and that harmony cannot fail to produce results. Faith and speech are your greatest investments. They require no capital, no equipment, no labor, yet they yield unlimited returns. You carry them within you at all times. They are the eternal tools of creation given freely to every person, waiting only to be used consciously. The wealthiest individuals in the world, whether they know it or not, are those who have mastered the art of speaking their vision into existence. They speak boldly, act faithfully, and watch as the invisible world rearranges itself to fulfill their words. When you speak faith into your business, you align yourself with divine order. You stop reacting to the market and begin directing it through your vibration. Every meeting becomes a manifestation. Every conversation a channel of blessing. Faith makes you magnetic, and your words make you precise. Together, they form the unseen current of prosperity that flows through every successful venture. Service, gratitude, and alignment magnetize unlimited success, because they harmonize the human will with divine law. Every business that rises and remains strong is built not only upon strategy and systems, but upon spiritual principles that cannot fail. When the heart of service beats at the center of enterprise, every action carries power. When gratitude becomes the foundation, every interaction multiplies in blessing. When alignment between thought, word, and purpose is achieved, the invisible and visible worlds cooperate to create effortless success. These three, service, gratitude, and alignment, form the golden triad that opens the gates of wealth. True service is the highest form of business intelligence, because it connects you directly to the law of circulation. Whatever you give in sincerity must return multiplied. Business is simply the art of giving value and receiving its reflection. When your motive is to uplift, to solve, to help, you enter into partnership with the divine flow of supply. The universe supports those who serve, for service is the natural expression of abundance. Those who serve with love never lack clients, never lack opportunities, never lack growth, because they are in tune with the principle of expansion. Every product, every idea, every conversation becomes a channel through which divine good flows. When you think beyond profit and into purpose, your business transcends competition and enters cooperation with the higher law of prosperity. Service transforms ordinary work into sacred exchange. When you treat each customer as a divine appointment, each sale becomes an act of blessing. The one who serves well never needs to chase success because success becomes their shadow. The energy you give out determines what returns to you. When you give bitterness, indifference, or greed, you receive the same vibration back. When you give excellence, joy, and sincerity, the invisible world arranges new pathways for your expansion. Service purifies the intention behind profit, turning money from a pursuit into a reward. When your service becomes selfless, your wealth becomes endless. Gratitude is the second pillar of unlimited success. It is not merely saying, "Thank you," but feeling deep recognition of divine supply already present. Gratitude is faith in action. It declares that you are already blessed and therefore worthy of more. When you give thanks before the harvest, you accelerate it. Gratitude raises your vibration to match the frequency of abundance, allowing more good to flow through you. Every moment spent in complaint closes the gate of increase, but every moment spent in gratitude flings it wide open. When you bless the clients you have, more appear. When you appreciate the money you earn, it multiplies. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is moving, and whatever you focus on expands. A grateful business owner walks in peace, even when outer results appear uncertain. They know that the universe is always working in their favor. They understand that delays are not denials but divine timing at work. Gratitude turns pressure into power. It takes your attention off the lack and places it on the flow. In that moment, your vibration rises, and the invisible begins to rearrange circumstances in your favor. When gratitude becomes your daily practice, every challenge becomes a hidden gift. Every slow month becomes an opportunity for creative renewal. Every difficulty becomes an unseen blessing preparing the next level of growth. To live in gratitude is to live in alignment with the law of increase. The ungrateful heart cannot receive because it focuses on scarcity. The grateful heart overflows with joy, and the universe fills what is overflowing. Gratitude attracts ideas, allies, and abundance because it mirrors the nature of creation itself. Ever expanding, ever generous, ever giving. When you are truly thankful, your words carry power. People feel it in your voice, in your emails, in your energy. Gratitude becomes your unspoken advertisement, and the world responds to it with generosity. Alignment is the master principle that binds all success. It is the harmony between your thoughts, words, emotions, and actions. When you think prosperity but speak fear, you create conflict in the invisible. When you speak abundance but act in doubt, you break the current of flow. Alignment means every part of you agrees with the same truth. You are meant to prosper, you are supported, you are guided, you are capable. When thought, speech, and action unite, your vibration becomes a single, powerful note that resonates with the frequency of success. The universe responds to clarity, not confusion. Alignment is that clarity. To align means to surrender struggle and follow inspiration. It means trusting the inner voice more than outer noise. Alignment is not passive. It is powerful obedience to intuition. When you are aligned, you move with divine timing. You make the right call at the right moment, meet the right person at the right place. Speak the right words that unlock hidden doors. Alignment is the invisible compass of prosperity. It always points to your next opportunity. Those who are aligned do less but achieve more because they act from spiritual precision rather than mental pressure. Alignment also means integrity. You cannot be prosperous if your inner world contradicts your outer actions. The universe rewards the honest vibration, the pure motive, the clean heart. When your word is your bond, when your promises are kept, when your actions match your values, you move into resonance with divine law. That resonance creates ease. People trust you, clients remain loyal, partners cooperate effortlessly. Alignment attracts alignment, order attracts ordered. When your inner state is ordered, your outer results mirror it. Chaos in the mind becomes chaos in business, but peace within becomes prosperity without. When service, gratitude, and alignment merge, business transforms from a struggle for survival into a sacred flow of expansion. Service ensures that what you do benefits others. Gratitude ensures that you remain connected to the source of all supply. Alignment ensures that your vibration remains pure and powerful. Together they create an energy field around your business that draws wealth naturally. You no longer need to convince or compete, you simply attract. Every interaction carries light, every product carries blessing. Every step feels guided by an unseen wisdom that cannot fail. The person who serves sincerely, gives thanks constantly, and lives in alignment becomes a magnet for success, because they are operating according to the same principles that govern creation. The sun shines without effort because shining is its nature. Water flows because that is its essence. In the same way, prosperity flows naturally to those who embody these three laws. They do not need to chase, they only need to stay aligned. The invisible world recognizes their vibration and delivers matching results in perfect time. Service opens the channel, gratitude expands it, and alignment keeps it clear. When you serve without expectation, thank without condition, and act in harmony with your highest truth, the universe floods your business with opportunities that exceed imagination. Clients feel drawn without knowing why, ideas come effortlessly, and doors open that logic cannot explain. Every success story, when traced to its source, reveals these same principles quietly at work. The most valuable marketing is kindness. The most powerful strategy is appreciation. The most reliable system is integrity. When these three forces govern your life, struggle dissolves. You stop forcing outcomes and begin flowing with divine rhythm. Money becomes an instrument, not a master. Business becomes an expression of love, not labor. You rise above competition because you no longer fight for success, you radiate it. The invisible world, always obedient to spiritual law, responds to your vibration of service, gratitude, and alignment with endless increase, and that increase sustains itself, because it was built upon eternal principles.